Chelsea Football Club are in the FA Cup final again. Let's hope we can have some better fortunes than last time. We are biggest Manchester City, and this is a match preview. Now, before I start, could you like, comment, share, subscribe? Let me know your score predictions down below. Hopefully we win. Let's start. So Chelsea, we've reached the FA Cup final. We beat in the semi-finals Leeds United with our interim manager, and we're going into the FA Cup final with our interim manager Callum McFarlane. And as of recent, he's had a tactical change. Manchester City, on the other hand, they're trying to go and win the Premier League, and just recently they won 3-0. And I feel like the main focus is on the Premier League, but obviously they would love to win this competition, and they've won it before. The last FA Cup final was a loss though to Manchester United, so both these teams have come in with their last FA Cup final with a loss. But Chelsea, as of recent, has had an atrocious record at Wembley. I mean, our last win was literally in 2018 against Manchester United. We won, I think it was 1-0, and that was our last win. I mean, we've played in Wembley multiple times, both in the Carabao Cup and in the FA Cup. We've lost every single one of them. We've lost to Liverpool quite multiple times, and that was atrocious. I think there was 3 cup finals in a row where it was all 0-0 in regular time, and we lost all of them. But anyways, we have to turn this around. I think we're in 7 cup finals we've lost now in a row. I want at least 1 trophy, and Chelsea, we need at least 1 trophy for the fans to be like, okay, we're not doing that bad, and hopefully we can go win it. And if we can win this, we're at least guaranteed Europa League football. So we definitely need to win it. We're more of a need to win it than Manchester City, in my opinion. And as of recent, our last match was against Liverpool. We drew 1-1, and we played pretty okay. I know it's on his slot, and he's a bit not the best manager. We're going to get Xabi Alonso, hopefully, inshallah. But Callum McFarlane, we drew 1-1 with Liverpool, and he had a tactical change. His tactical change is to go 3 at the back with wing backs, and he put the rest in midfield and on the wing. So it was like a 3-2, like 3-5-3-1. No, wait, that's wrong. Sorry. We had 3 at the back. We had wing backs, 2 central midfielders, left wing, right wing, striker, and I think we had a cam. I'm not sure. Basically, we went 3 at the back. We had wing backs. Kukurea was at the wing back, and he looked really great, generally great. And I feel like this tactical switch actually suits Chelsea much more, and especially with Colwill back, he was genuinely the difference maker, and we definitely are happy to have him back. And hopefully he does start the FA Cup final. Hopefully he's great. Reece James, he's also looked to be back. Sadly, Alejandro Garnacho has trained well in training recently, and Pedro Neto, he's apparently trained well recently, and I feel like we almost are full strength, and this is a match where we need the players to perform. We're looking at our key players, the likes of Caicedo, the likes of João Pedro, the likes of probably Cole Palmer. In big games, he does perform. Robert Sanchez, we need him to be on his A game with Haaland, with Mamouche, with Ryan Cherki. They're big threats. And the defense, they actually are vulnerable, and we saw that with a 3-3 draw with Everton. And you never know, they could have a late game collapse, but maybe they've learned from that and that can happen. But I'm hopeful we can win this, and I think if we do go with that 3 at the back, I think we have a chance. What we shouldn't do is try and get more possession than Manchester City, try and play that game. I don't think we should do that. With Manchester City, they have the better players, the better manager, the manager who's much better at using that system than our manager. I think we shouldn't try to do that. We should try to go for a bit something else. I think we should go, through the fullbacks, the wing backs, and I think we should do that. My lineup, I would have goalkeeper Robert Sanchez. I think he has to start. He had a concussion, and that's why he couldn't play against Liverpool. But he's a phenomenal keeper. You put him in there, you ask him to distribute long, not too short, and I feel like he'll be great, class keeper. I think he's great in goal. And 3 at the back, if we're going for that formation, I would have Colwill, probably Fofana. I know he's done some mess up stuff recently, but still, Colwill, Fofana, and Trevor Chalobah. I think that'd be a great back 3. And if possible, maybe Reece James in. I'll speak about Reece James a bit later on. Wing back, I'm gonna have Correa left wing back. He was great there. We needed him there. Right wing back, this is a hard one because the obvious ones is Malo Gusto, but Pedro Neto, I want to see him out there. But this is an FA Cup final, and there's no point really to experiment in an FA Cup final. So there's kind of debate going on, but I think I'd much rather have Melo goes to them. He's played in the wing back position. I think he's better at them. I know he's James, but I don't want to injure him. We'll speak about him later on. In midfield, I definitely have Caicedo. I'm partnered with probably Lavio. No, so Andrew Santos. Or rather, Andrew Santos next to him. Caicedo, Andrew Santos. I think that should be the pivot, the two in the middle, and I feel that'd be great. Caicedo, great. I know he made that mistake against Manchester City last time, where we lost 3-0, but I think now it's the one-off. I think he should be great in the middle. And next to him, Andrew Santos, I think he's great. We could put Lavia in, but I think we'd start with Andrew Santos, and maybe you could put Lavia on. I'll be okay with that. In the middle, or wherever you want to put him, Enzo Fernandez. I'll say him in the middle. I think he is such a great player, and he's such a creative player. I want him next to or near Marco Correa. I think that's where he can be quite effective, passing it to Cucurella. He did that a few times where Cucurella broke Liverpool's lines of defence. He did it multiple times, and I feel like them two need to be close to each other to create some havoc, and I feel like he'll be great there. And I think either side of him should be at least Cole Palmer. Hope he can do something. I'm not that confident in him, but maybe he can do something. Enzo Fernandez and Cole Palmer, and up front João Pedro. I feel like that would be great. I feel like we should do like that, and I feel like we have a chance of winning. We definitely do. And with that formation, with that lineup, I think we definitely do have a chance. And this is where we need the big players to perform. And if we can perform, we hopefully can win this. We have the ability in us. But it's about the players if they're going to perform or not. And score predictions, I'm going to have to go for a win. But in all honesty, I'd probably say we're going to lose. But let's say we're going to win. And let's go for a 2-1 win. And we're going to have Cole Palmer scoring 1. And Enzo Fernandez scoring the winner. And we could have Arnold Cherky scoring. And we'll win 2-1. We'll lift the FA Cup. Hopefully that happens. So what do you guys think? Could you let me know your score predictions down below? Could you like, comment, and subscribe? Thank you for doing so.